Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a return to Heaven's Vault. So there's been some slight issues with. Oh my goodness, it's actually really loud. I don't remember it being this loud. There's been some slight issues with Fallout Tactics. I'm not entirely sure why. My Windows updated and then GOG Galaxy updated, and I don't know if those two together have kind of caused a bit of an issue. But Fallout Tactics hasn't been working particularly nicely. So that one's back, that one's off. But we're going to come back to Heaven's Vault and hopefully not have the same issues we had last time, because I'm now recording instead of to my computer, back to doing a hard drive, because I think that should work a lot better. But we're going to restart completely, because there's like an hour that's completely missing, and I don't want to just miss it. I'm going to just restart. Are you sure you start the game from the beginning? You lose all progress from the current playthrough. Yes, let's restart. Climb the stone staircase, more ancient than the mind can imagine. Find the cornerstone, and under it the copper box that is marked with his name. Unlock it. Open the lid. Take out the tablet of lapis lazuli. Read. The Epic of Gilgamesh, circa 1300 BC. Oh, I could have done the introduction here. Right, well, let's begin.
Stories don't have tidy beginnings. The past is always present. But there has to be a spark. Something that brings the past to light.
Please, climb carefully. Oh, that wasn't. It's not much further. Oh, that was the robot, was it? Oops. One last corner. We're almost. It's not really clear who's talking. At the top. Take a moment to rest before you walk. Take a moment before you walk, please, mistress. So that's because our stamina's a bit low. I don't remember this bit at all. Wow, I don't know where I'm. What are we doing? I mean, I don't remember this all. This is the summit? This is as far as the path goes. Bricked up opening. Bricked up opening. There is something here. To keep people out, do you think? Or to keep something in? There's something written here. Ancient script. This must have been cut in when the water was still wet. I think I can read it. Heaven's Vault. The University of Iox, some weeks earlier.
My story begins on Iox. That was where I met the robot.
Mistress Alaya? Mistress Alaya Elazra? Elazra? I have been waiting for you. I have been asked to escort you to Professor Mayari. She is very anxious for your arrival. Am I in trouble? I'm in trouble, aren't I? She did not say, but I imagine she is simply being welcoming. This way. Do you have a name, robot? Is that intended to be a joke, mistress? No? Robots do not have names. We are, as I understand it, interchangeable. I've known a few robots. They're all a little different. How kind of you to say so, mistress. Did she say what she wanted? Yes. She said she wanted you. That was just unhelpful. This way. You should know that the professor's urgency was remarkable. Look at her. She looks like a tiger in a cage. A most curious analogy, mistress. You understand I will be required to report it? Required to? Of course. Professor Mayari is my primary user, mistress. Nevertheless, I will try to sugarcoat your opinion. You'd do that for me? Of course. I have been tasked with your well-being. Shall we proceed? Tree of Knowledge. Or so they call it. Each branch grows more branches. Except for the ones that die, fall off, and are forgotten. Which is where we come in, I suppose. I went outside the university grounds once, exploring. This is a very beautiful moon. You can tell it was once lush and fertile. There must have been huge forests, lakes, rivers. They're all but dry now. Well, I probably could have...
I was 15
Oops.
when Mayari rescued me from the slums of Elbereth and brought me here. I'd never seen such luxury or such kindness.
What do you think of the sculpture? It has a pleasing balance to it. Worth the time it took to make, do you think? When there are people on Elbereth who don't eat? Are your own exploits worth the time they take, mistress? Should we not be making history rather than reviewing it? If you don't know history, you can't understand people. You can starve them or oppress them, but you won't understand them. What a happy thought. Basically, I'm doing a canine voice, roughly. I could do a Marvin, I suppose. Don't tell me about life. Why is Mary's dream so far from everything? I imagine she enjoys her view of the tree, Mr. I'm going to stick with Canine. I am sure it is most pleasing to her. Canine just works better. I can do that voice a lot better, I think. Professor Mayari? Alea, there you are. Come in. Uh-oh. I came as soon as I got your message. You don't need to flatter me, Alea. Nonetheless, I'm glad you came. I know your work is important to you. My work is important to everyone, Professor. Well, today it's important to me. You're our expert on history. Tell me what you make of this. It's a brooch. Yes, Alea. But I didn't summon you halfway across the nebula to tell me that. It's certainly old. Empire period. The device is the eagle and the sun. One of the scholars sent this brooch to me. Janique Renba. Did you know him? Did? Look at the detail. Oh, you changed the subject. H.M. Marcus, I know they're a hobby of yours, Alea, but can you read them? So, this is on the beginning. We've done this before. kind of working on the... I've never seen either of these groupings before, but the two words have some common elements, so they must have related meanings. Well, holy friend. So it's to do with the... I don't think friend beloved makes sense, but holy emperor I can see working. I think. So you've got this little section in here. Now, the thing is, if I'd thought about it, I think the symbol for this game, the logo, Heaven's Vault, has those symbols. I think they match to Heaven's Vault. So it'd be really useful to have probably made a note of what they were, because that would give me an idea if this is holy. It could be friend beloved. I think holy emperor makes sense. Holy emperor? But I'm only guessing. You don't think this actually belonged to the emperor? To an emperor? Do you? That would make this a find of a decade. Now perhaps you see why you're here. Janique told me he'd found something. That was over a month ago. Janique isn't like you. He's an Ioxian through and through. You're worried about him. He's important to me. And I don't know what he was doing out there. He told me he was going to a moon called Maersi. I can't go hunting the nebula for missing people, Alea. But you can. That's what you do, isn't it? Find things? I'll see what I can dig up. A cruel choice of words, Alea. Come back when you found him, Alea. And Alea, you're taking that robot with you. Thank you, Professor. I long to see the nebula. Oh, and before you go, you should look in on Huang. He was eager to see you. Where is he? Where he always is, I'd imagine. Nose in a book. I know he's rather beneath you, but you could at least say good faith to him. For the benefit of our little community. I'll bear that in mind. You're as cold as the rivers themselves, well suited to the stars. He's down there by the tree. You must have walked straight past him on your way in. Good hunting, my dear. Okay. Let's go downstairs. Can I just say, Mistress Elia, it is wonderful to be accompanying you. Oh, yes? And why is that? I find humans fascinating, and you are very different to most here. I've only recently been activated. I'm calling you Six. Six, Mistress? I shall remember that. Is that where it just ended? I wonder if I got Mayuri's translation correct. Mayuri. I think I did. The shape shows this is an empire piece. Yes! Woo! And the emperors believe themselves to be gods. Like, that's new. So it makes sense that the words would be almost the same. Yay! Woo! Woo! But it still doesn't tell me... Where did this thing come from? Alea! Tell me, are you still wasting your time on your curious notions of history? History isn't mine. It belongs to everybody. Most of us are decent people, Alea, and do not want it. You should devote yourself to a real science. Metallics, maybe. Loop philosophy. History is a science. Of a sort, you could argue. It's the exploration of the past. Through evidence and theory. Honestly. Most people think you will not be content until you've unearthed your own skull. Good faith to you, Elia. May the waters light your way. Maybe if I'd said something different. Or maybe if I'd mentioned Remba. Alia. I didn't know you were back on Iox. How are you, Huang? Well enough, well enough. I've been reading all day. I just came outside to rest my eyes, and there you were. What were you reading? The Annals again. Did you know Mazway claims the Holy Empire was founded by 3 wolves racing to heaven? Each one tore the throat of the other, and as the 3 fell to earth... Are you really interested? Absolutely. This could be useful learning about the Empire. Alright, most people glaze over.
He began to talk with such passion that his eyes glittered.
I wanted to learn what he's talking about.
And he seemed to grow at least an inch taller.
I wanted... Alea? Yes? You weren't listening. Never mind. Hi, do you know Janique Remba? I know Remba, of course. Well, a little. Why? What did he teach? He's a roboticist. One of the best, one of the few. Did you say did? Has something happened to Janique? I don't know. I'm sure it's nothing bad. Oh my. Before you go, it hardly seems important now, but I found a line of ancient in the Annals of Mazway I thought you might like. If you have time, that is. Always. Here, see what you think. I'm a little frustrated because I would have liked to have heard that stuff. I know one of these words. I'll have to guess the other 2. Right, so we've got buried or banished. The thing is, I'm not sure buried works, although when I was looking at that, my brain did flick to the vault, but I don't know if I'm right about that. Like, I'm not sure what... Right. We've got this symbol, which I think is to do with... You look here and there's... Well, it was in holy as well, wasn't it? So it's not necessarily just to do with people. But I don't like circuits. I don't... Like, I can't see any of this work. Like, if it's robots, it'd be buried. If it's banished, I could see banished rebels working for an empress. Let's go with that. Banished rebels. Empress banished rebels? I think that's correct. It's quite a monster, isn't it? Story from the founding of the empire itself? I suppose the first empress was one of your 3 wolves. I'd best not keep you. I hope you find him. Oh, couldn't you have given... Oh. Shall we proceed to your ship now? Have you sailed before 6? I have no idea, mistress. But I am keen to find out. And so we left the hallowed walls of the university, apparently.